Now, before I start this video, I just need to address those of you watching with minimal intelligence who are going to leave comments like, "You never took steroids or any of these drugs, so you don't know what you're talking about." These comments typically come from two types of people. The ones that are just plain dumb, or the ones that want to believe at all costs that drugs are awesome and refuse to hear the reality and the risks of taking drugs. So if this is what you're thinking, here's what I have to say to you. So according to your rationale, you can only speak or help people on a topic you have experienced yourself. So based on this train of thought, a doctor could never treat a patient with cancer unless he had cancer himself. Or, as a personal trainer, I can't help a person lose weight unless I was obese myself and became skinny. Or, if I'm a male, I can never train a female client because I'm not a woman and I have never experienced the wonders of giving birth. Thank God. Are people really this dumb? The answer is yes. Yes, they are. So just read my comments below if you don't believe me. But other than that, we're going to get started. And here's the deal. I have never taken any drugs, and I'm proud of it. But I do have over 14 years experience as a certified personal trainer dealing with clients that are natural or on drugs, so I've seen a lot. I also have my own experience in the industry with professional athletes because this is what I do for a living, guys. And I have lots of good friends who do take steroids as well, and it's a no judgment zone. It does not bother me. Also, there are these amazing things called books and scientific studies with vast amounts of information that anyone can access on this crazy invention called the World Wide Web, where you can find lots of information. It blows my mind that people will take advice from an untrained dude that has no professional training on anything fitness just because he's taken steroids himself and has seen the effects on only one person, himself. But God forbid if someone that has been certified, has seen tons of people on gear and its side effects for years, talks about juice, and doesn't do it himself. So just want to get that out in the open real quick. And, you know, the other comment I usually get all the time is, and this one is just, you know what I mean? Arnold did it, and he is fine. Well, here's what I have to say to these people. The only thing we know for a fact about Arnold is that he is alive. That's it. Do you really think that if Arnold's dick didn't work, that he's going to hold a press conference and let us know, "Attention! Attention everybody! Quiet! My penis doesn't work! Now back to the chopper! Let's get out of here!" You know? Make a new movie called Expendable Dick. Like, it's not gonna happen, okay, guys? So if you're gonna say that in the comment section below, just do yourself a favor and block yourself so I don't have to do it. Also, do you think if he's having heart, liver, or kidney problems that he's gonna tell us on the 8 o'clock news? Come on, guys, don't be that ignorant. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the topic, which is drugs physique athletes take to build muscle and shred fat. Now, if you're thinking about competing in the physique world, you need to do your research to understand what it takes to get there. Many people think that juiced up dudes are only those huge guys that look like monsters. But the fact that someone is not as big as Phil Heath doesn't mean that they're natural. You can literally be 150 pounds and still be taking anabolic steroids. The difference is that the stack and quantities change depending on your goals, genetics, and the category you're training for. So that's it, guys. I mean, almost everybody competing in the physique category is on drugs, and you'll have a hard time winning if you're not juicing as well. And a few quick items before we dive into this. First, obviously, there are many drugs out there, so in this series, I'll be talking about the most common ones and the ones I get the most questions about from you guys. So today we're going to be talking about Trenbolone. Secondly, many of these drugs are obviously used by athletes in categories other than physique as well, but for the purpose of this series, I wanted to touch on what it takes to look like a physique competitor. And lastly, keep in mind that physique-enhancing drugs are hardly ever taken alone. They're usually part of an overall stack along with ancillary drugs to counteract the side effects, so you need to consider the impact and effects of the stack as a whole on your body, not just what we're talking about today. Now let's get started. Trenbolone. What is it? Well, Trenbolone, or Tren for short, is a very popular anabolic steroid amongst fitness models and competitors. However, Tren was actually developed for use by veterinarians to help increase the muscle growth and appetite of their cattle, and has actually never been approved for human consumption, only in animals. Now, what Tren is an injectable drug that's a modified testosterone molecule that has been altered in the 19th position of the molecule. And it's one of the most powerful anabolic steroids on the market, being 5 times more anabolic than testosterone itself. But what does it do? Well, I'm not going to get into the scientific detail for the sake of time, but Tren does a few things. Number 1, it has a binding affinity for the androgen receptor that is 5 times as high as testosterone. And the more binding to androgen receptors, the bigger your muscle building response from exercise is going to be. So think that T is already powerful as hell, so Tren takes your gains to a whole new level. Remember, it's 5 times as strong. It's extremely powerful. Number 2, Tren increases the level of IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor, inside the muscle tissue, and it also increases the sensitivity of muscle satellite cells to IGF-1, which are the cells that repair the damage to muscle fibers, creating a pretty powerful equation for massive gains. The other thing I want to mention is that Tren has anti-catabolic properties as well, so you're growing more and breaking down less muscle. And number 3, aside from being a very powerful muscle builder, it also has very effective fat-burning properties, making it one of the few anabolic drugs that directly impacts fat loss. So to summarize, Tren gives you great strength and remarkable muscle gains in a leaner way than most other anabolic steroids. I know, I bet Tren sounds pretty amazing right now, right? So what are the side effects? I'm sure that's your next question. Well, because it's so powerful, it has some pretty powerful and serious side effects as well, which keep a lot of people away from using Tren. In fact, some side effects are intolerable for some people and they just stop it altogether. Now, with any kind of steroid, the side effects and long-term implications of Tren depend on the individual, so your genetics. So just because your buddy cruised through his cycle, it doesn't mean it will be the same for you or vice versa. First of all, Tren has all the common side effects of anabolic steroids in general, such as shutting down your natural testosterone production and screwing up your sex drive, amongst other things. And Tren can shut down your T production very quickly, even at low doses. It can also cause rapid heartbeat and increase your blood pressure, and I have seen the blood pressure really shoot up in some people, guys. It's pretty serious. It can also cause serious kidney problems and liver damage, and we know that if you mess up your liver, you're pretty screwed. The waiting list for a new one is very, very long. It will also cause all the cardiovascular issues that are very common to steroids, such as heart attacks, heart disease, strokes, etc. So basically, it's a very, very toxic drug. And some of these effects are more long-term. So just because Joey at your gym did it and he's cool, doesn't mean Joey won't be in agonizing pain in the hospital in a few years with liver issues or dead from a heart attack. Tren also causes some different side effects from other types of juice, like real bad night sweats and hardcore insomnia. And the night sweats can be pretty crazy, and I mean like waking up soaked with your bed totally wet, okay? It's gonna be very embarrassing if somebody happens to be sleeping next to you. But this is the least of your problems, guys. Tren also causes shortness of breath, and some dudes end up stopping cardio altogether just because the endurance is not there. So if you're a football player or any other type of endurance athlete, stay away from this drug because it will severely impact your performance. Another fact that you need to know about Tren is that it doesn't aromatize or convert to the female sex hormone estrogen, which is one of the biggest concerns when taking steroids for dudes. But don't think that your problems are over because of this. The fact that it does not aromatize is mentioned in many places like it's a benefit of the drug, but you get so many other side effects that in the end, it can be just as bad. With Tren, the androgenic side effects are pronounced, such as baldness, real bad acne, and oily skin, and as far as the baldness goes, you'll get affected if you already have a predisposition to being bald, so Tren will start and or accelerate the process. Now don't think that because Tren doesn't convert to estrogen that you will still not experience female or estrogen side effects like bitch tits or bloating, because Tren is a progestin and increases prolactin levels in the body, and this can cause nasty puffy nipples. Your nipples can get so sensitive that it will bother you to even wear a shirt. And actually, some people have even reported that their nipples leak, which to me is quite emasculating. So as you can see, guys, all the power comes at a high price, and because of how extreme it is, it's not recommended that people use Tren unless they have cycled with less powerful steroids first. So now you have a better glimpse at how some people gain 10 to 20 pounds of muscle in a short amount of time and still look big, full, and shredded at the same time. Think that for a natural athlete, in order to be shredded, you have to deplete yourself of calories. So it's very hard to walk around big, full, and shredded at the same time. The process of getting stage ready is excruciating. So if you're seeing dudes walking around like this, chances are that they're not natural. Also, understand that there is a difference between juicing professionally and recreationally. A drug like Tren will help a professional bodybuilder or physique competitor, but it's not a magical pill that will automatically take you to victory. At that level, all guys look big and shredded, and you're looking at minimal differences separating the winners from the losers. So at that level, you will still have to bust your butt, work hard at the gym, and have your meal plan in check. But for the regular Joe Blow, these drugs will make a significant difference and allow you to get away with more than you would naturally. As a natural lifter, your diet needs to be perfect, and you will always be walking that fine line between trying to gain muscle and stay lean. A regular dude on juice will be able to get away with some crappy meals and shitty food and still grow and look good. It does make life easier. But here's the deal. Steroids can, and chances are that they will affect how long you live. Now, I don't care what you do, although I would prefer that you didn't choose the path of drugs, but taking Tren or any other drug needs to be a careful, educated, and well thought out decision. Think about the risk versus reward, and to me, there's 3 scenarios. The first scenario is if you're a teenager up until about your early 20s, you really have no business even thinking about steroids. Your body is still developing and your hormones are still adjusting to their adult balance. Why risk throwing off your hormones for the rest of your life, guys? It makes no sense. The risk is just too high at this age. You should be focusing on eating right and working hard, and if you can't even handle the basics, you haven't even earned the right to think about juicing. The only scenario I would understand someone considering steroids is if you're pursuing a career as a professional bodybuilder. And by that, I mean a career for life, not just a guest appearance on a physique competition to check that box off in your life goals. If you're getting success, recognition, personal fulfillment, or good living out of the deal, maybe the risk is worthwhile to you, and if you die early, you'll die happy. In this case, make sure you do plenty of research and that you have a professional medical support team to monitor the impact on your body. And the third scenario is you're a regular guy wanting to look good in general. And if that's you, here's what I think. Man the fuck up and go get your meal plan in check and go work out. Why the hell would you risk not having your dick working, having these horrible side effects, or die early of a heart attack just to look good at a pool party and impress your friends? You can absolutely look awesome as a natural athlete. So stop trying to find a shortcut or a magical solution so you don't have to put the actual hard work in. It's called working out for a reason, guys. And now before I conclude, I thought it would be cool to show you some examples I found on forums of people that have used Tren so you can see the results that they had. And keep in mind, guys, these people are amateurs, not professional bodybuilders, just average everyday people like you watching this video. And also keep in mind that they're typically on other steroids as well, such as testosterone, for example. So here's a guy that did a 12-week cycle, and this is his before photo. And here are his photos from 12 weeks later. And this is him after 8 months after he completely stopped his cycle, and as you can see, he lost most of his gains, which is something you need to keep in mind. Holding on to your gains after the cycle is no walk in the park, so make sure you understand this, because I really don't see the point of risking all the above mentioned side effects if the results are just going to go away when you're done with the cycle. And let me show you guys just one more photo, and this is someone who did a cycle of Tren and testosterone. And to be honest, guys, this transformation could have happened naturally. It may have taken longer and more hard work, but that dick of yours would still be in 100% working condition no matter what. Now, another thing I recommend is that you search forums looking for real people's testimonies on side effects. Here you will get a more realistic idea of what happens, because if you go to gym bros or sites selling drugs, they will always tell you everything is great and you only have problems if you're dumb or not using the right medications to counteract the side effects, which is utter bullshit. Here's an example of a forum post. 1.5 years ago, I did a 5-week cycle of Tren and test. I took 500 milligrams of each, and I cut it short due to the anger from Tren and the bloating from it in my face, especially since I was dieting and doing cardio like crazy, despite being on 1 milligram of 8X. I've come to the conclusion it was Tren causing this in another way other than estrogen, but I'm still not sure. Anyway, I still have that bloat in my face from it under my chin and jawline, and it doesn't seem to go away. I ordered Burn for my face, and I always eat clean. Also, around week 3 when the Tren hit me, I noticed my orgasms didn't feel as good and permanently stayed this way even till this day. I never had the ultimate feeling of how I had it before I took that cycle. I really regret ever touching it and ever touching gear in my life, but it's too late. I was wondering if taking Bromo or Dostin X would cure these problems for me from Tren, since they must be still circulating or trapped in my body somewhere. Hey guy, I'm 17 years old, I have about 11% body fat and weigh 167 pounds. I've been running a straight Tren A cycle, 1 to 12 weeks, 1,000 milligrams a day Tren A. I'm on my 2nd week of my cycle and I've been getting really bad side effects. I haven't slept for days and coughing and sweating a lot. I've tried masturbating to get some sleep, but I'm not getting an erection. Someone please tell me these side effects are normal. So first of all, why in the hell is a 17-year-old taking Tren? And the other sad thing I see in forums all the time is that these people are taking all these drugs and it's very clear that they have no idea what they're doing. Even the responses from other people in the forums are like, why the hell did you take all these drugs before doing any research on them? Well, you want to know why, guys? It's because of all these fake natties giving people unrealistic expectations, which makes their fans more desperate because they can never look like their idols, even when using their exercise and diet programs. It's also all these gym bros glorifying roids, or the people who glorify it to make money off of you. So guys, listen up. The real competitors that do it for the sport and have respect for the sport don't glorify it, and they'll actually be the first ones to tell you to do your research and get your training and meal plan figured out first. Now getting back to Arnold, even he is fed up with all the bullshit and the direction the sport is taking, and that's something to think about. So there you have it, guys. Stay tuned for the next installments, which are going to be on T3, clenbuterol, and Anavar. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.